that down, let's talk about this, shall we? Last night was pretty cool. I went to the Ballerina LA premiere and after party last night, and it was a good time. Now, you guys know I don't go to any press events anymore. I do not accept press invitations to anything. Last night was a unique situation where I was actually personally invited to go as a guest, not as press. I didn't go with a press badge or anything like that. I was just personally invited to go. So Anna and I went and had a good time. Actually, here's a picture from it here. So like Keanu Reeves came out. He was the first one to come out to introduce everything and gave a tribute to, what's the name of the guy who was the guy who passed away from the John Wayne?
Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick. They gave a big tribute to Lance Reddick there, and his wife was there
That's
last
nice.
night as well, which was great. So you had Stileski there. You had Len Wiseman, the director. There's, of course, Ana de Armas in the middle, right beside, back to the picture I've got on here. Right beside Anna, you had Ian McShane, and then Norman Reedus was there. And I don't know the name of the actress that was right beside him. I think, I almost gave away a big spoiler. Never mind that. So I went to go see it. And here are my thoughts on From the World of John Wick Ballerina. Terrible title, by the way. I want to do it, just call it John Wick Ballerina or John Wick Universe Ballerina. I don't know. Whatever.
A Star Wars story.
Yes, a John Wick Universe story. But here's my thoughts on Ballerina. I said in my out of theater reaction, I just got out of seeing Violence Orgy, the movie.
Yeah.
Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough about this movie. There are two things I really got to emphasize. Number one, there ain't no nominations for best screenplay coming in Ballerina's future. That ain't happening. Okay? It's not that great. Screenplay is not that great. But there's not a lot of talky in this movie. It's all punchy and stabby and bang. I was telling Rob this morning, if you took the actual ratio, and this is not hyperbole, I'm not exaggerating. If I actually took a stopwatch and broke down the ratio of the amount of time action was happening on the screen versus the amount of time that there was no action, this might be the most action ratio in Hollywood movie history. It actually might, I might be wrong about that, but it might be. It just never stops. The movie starts with a young ballerina, little Eve, talking to her daddy. And that's the longest talking scene in the movie. After that, it's just punching and screaming and owing and bones breaking and stabbing and it's just violence.
Yeah.
And you know what? As somebody who's going into a John Wick universe movie, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for the stabby. And we got a hell of a lot of it. It's just, sometimes I'll even say, I wasn't even sure why certain people were fighting, but they were fighting and it looked cool. And it was pretty badass. And every fight had something completely unique about it. Like, how can we use dinner plates in a fight scene? How can we use this, I won't give it away, this common household item in a fight scene? How can we use, you've seen this in the trailer, so it's no, how can we use flamethrowers, not in a flamethrower, in a fight scene? How can we use, and they're just constantly coming up with all these creative ways to use everything to kill people with. So there's that. And on that level, incredibly satisfying. But here is my absolute favorite thing about Ballerina. You guys know who've watched me for any period of time that my number one complaint about the John Wick films, and I love them. I love the John Wick films, but nothing's perfect. My number one complaint about John Wick films is that in the original John Wick, we were introduced to John Wick as the Baba Yaga, the name that when even mentioned, the heads of Russian mafias freeze in fear and in silence. Nobody messed with the Baba. He was the boogeyman. And then in John Wick 2, 3, and 4 is just another guy. Whatever. Oh, somebody wants to kill John Wick? Yeah, I'll go take my shot at killing John Wick. It's just John Wick. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. The mystique of the Baba Yaga was so powerful in the first movie was kind of disappeared. And that's always been my biggest problem with those movies. The Baba Yaga is back. The Baba Yaga is back. Now, you guys have seen in the trailers the scene where she goes, "You're him, the one they call the Baba Yaga." Like, that happens in the first act of the film. You've seen that scene. And you've seen this scene in the trailers where he at some point confronts her. I'll let you know he reappears in the third act of the film. That's where this happens, third act of the film. And the early reports of it saying like, hey, Keanu Reeves is not just a cameo in this movie. Absolutely right. It is absolutely Ana de Armas's movie. It is not Ana de Armas, Ballerina, and Keanu Reeves' John Wick. It's Ana de Armas's movie. But I'd say John Wick is in a good 20 plus minutes of this movie.
Wow. That's cool.
And I'll only give one example of how they have brought back into this world the mystique of the Baba Yaga. And there are several, but I'm going to give one. And I'm not even going to give you the context. But there's a scene where some people are about to go into the room because they're trying to take down John Wick, as happens in every John Wick movie. And one of the guys finally says, "I'm not going in there. That's John Wick." And I audibly said in the theater, finally. Finally. But it's, without giving any more examples, that oozes through the entire time he's in the movie. Is like, oh shit, it's the Baba Yaga. Like it, and I love that they brought that back. I love that they brought that back. And you see in the trailer that him and the ballerina get into a conflict, right? You're gonna love that fight. You and I, if you're a John Wick fan, you're gonna love that fight that they should give us, that they hint at in the trailer there. Anyway, so there's that. Ian McShane isn't in a ton of the movie, but when he is, he's fabulous. Angelica Houston, who was also there, by the way, last night. Again, not a ton of the movie. She's in it more than Ian McShane. Great in it. And one of my favorite guys from one of my all-time favorite movies, Usual Suspects, Gabriel Byrne, is the big bad guy in it.
Oh, wow.
And you meet him right away in the movie. So he's the big bad guy in the movie called The Chancellor. Is his name. And I love seeing him and everything. So look, this ain't Shakespeare, folks. You ain't going to go in this movie getting any screenwriting tips and great narrative story arcs. But if you're just going into the ballerina looking for a John Wick kind of experience, Rob, I think you're in for a good time. Because that's what all of its shortcomings, it delivers a high quality John Wick experience.
That's all I'm looking for.
So this isn't quite Hamlet, it's Hamlet the Reckoning.
It is, yes, somewhere along those lines. And oh my God, story-wise, they do some really stupid things in this movie. I'm not even going to allude to them, but they do some pretty dumb things story-wise. And I didn't care. Because and by the way, Ana de Armas is a born action star. A born action star. And you know what really comes through in the movie? They put this out in one of the preview clips, so this isn't spoiling anything. But like, there's the scene that we saw in one of the trailer where she's training fighting, right? And she's fighting this guy. And then she's told, you keep trying to fight on his terms. They will always be bigger. They will always be stronger than you. You are never going to be stronger than them. Stop trying to be stronger than them. You're never going to weigh more. You're never going to be this. You must change the terms of the fight when you're fighting somebody who's bigger and stronger. So we saw that in one of the preview clips.
That's really cool.
Then it's reflected in all the rest of the movie. You know, some action movies, like I love great female action stars, but sometimes in movies, like they'll show the female action star, unless they're a superhero, like overpowering a much bigger guy. And that loses, as you would say, verisimilitude,
Yes.
right? Not in the ballerina. The ballerina fights in such a way that she's like, I'm physically weaker than you, so I'm going to kill you these 45 other ways.
You got to be faster.
And it plays out and it feels true and all the bonkers action that happens. Oh, it's just a really fun movie, dude. Again, all the complaints that you're going to hear about this movie coming out, and you won't hear anybody complain about the action. You're never going to hear a single person complain about the action. Any other complaints coming out of, I have no problem with, and I have no rebuke for, because all the other complaints that may come out of it may very well be justified. Because there's a lot wrong with this movie. But it's a fun experience, and I enjoyed myself. So, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hungryroot. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can all relate to this. Spring hits and suddenly life goes from like 0 to 100. Busy season is officially in full swing over here. And honestly, who's got time to go grocery shopping? That's where Hungryroot comes in. See, because Hungryroot is like having your own personal shopper. I told them my goals and they started curating groceries for me that actually fit my life. Be it smoothies, snacks, salad kits, even ready to eat meals. All clean ingredients, no artificial junk. This week, I got the grilled turkey tenderloin with pesto grilled veggies, and it was amazing. And I got my usual protein-packed snacks. It's like they're learning my taste better than I even know myself. And the best part is, I don't have to waste time driving to the grocery store and wandering the aisles. That's time I can spend doing literally absolutely anything else. Guys, I love Hungryroot. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/Campea and use the code Campea. That's hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea.
That's good.
This
That's all
is
you
what
can
you've
ask.
been looking forward to, right?
It is. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I love the John Wick movies. I mean, the first one is my favorite, obviously. I think it's a great movie. The only thing I'd ask you is, do they do any interesting more extension of the world? Like the table, the
Yes. Although, thankfully, the table is not even mentioned in this.
but there's the John Wick universe.
There is
mythology.
a fundamental, like you see in the trailer, that, again, I'm just repeating things that are in the trailer,
yeah.
that the ballerina's gone rogue, and that the director, Angelica Houston, of the ballerinas, I forget what they call the something Roma is the name of their organization, whatever. She has to send John Wick to go stop her, right? And bring her back. He goes, you can leave. You think you're here to kill me, or you can leave. Your choice. That's in the trailer. There is fundamental lore and world building. That's the reason for that.
Ruska Roma.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
Ruska Roma is what they call it.
That's what I wanted. You know,
yeah, so they
I wanted
expand
more
the lore of the John
That's
Wick
what I
universe
wanted.
here.
As long as
Yeah.
there's more John Wick lore, I'm in. Because that's that flavor that I love about the John Wick franchise, is that all the lore of it all. So good. That's all I want.
Yeah,
Action and
so,
lore.
Dude, I think if you're going
Story,
into this for
autobiography.
as a normal movie going experience, and you're looking for a lot of things like a great story, good character development, all those things that I appreciate and value very highly in a movie, this might not be for you. If you're going in for a John Wick movie kind of experience where you're looking for crazy action, wild choreography, and all this kind of stuff, and some really wildly creative kills, I think you're going to have a good time. Go check it out. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think? Are you excited about the Ballerina? I'm not quite sure how good it's going to do at the box office, to be honest with you, but I do recommend you go and check it out. Whatever your anticipation level is, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.